Have you ever sat at a gathering with your friends and realized, I'm the only single one left? One friend is sending wedding invitations. Another is pregnant with her first child. The group chat is full of couple photos, anniversaries, baby milestones, and you're there, quietly liking the posts, saying, MashaAllah, I'm so happy for you, while a small part of your heart whispers, but what about me? You make dua. You try to stay patient. You smile when your relatives ask, so, when is your turn? Even though you're tired of answering the same question. And deep down, you might be wondering, is there something wrong with me? Did I miss my chance? Why does it feel like Allah is pairing everyone else and leaving me behind? In this video, I want to talk to you, the one who feels left out, and show you that your singleness is not a punishment, not a curse, and definitely not a sign that Allah has forgotten you. Before we talk about why you might still be single, you need to remember what marriage actually is in Islam. Marriage is beautiful. It's a sign of Allah's mercy. He says in the Qur'an that He created spouses so we may find tranquility with them and place between us love and mercy. A righteous spouse can be a protection, a comfort, and a means of getting closer to Allah. But here's what we often forget. Marriage is risk. Just like money, health, and children, it comes at the time and in the shape that Allah has written. Being married does not mean someone is more honored by Allah than you, and being single does not mean you are less loved. Your marital status is part of your qadr, but it is also a field of action. You make dua, you seek, you take halal steps, and then you trust Allah's timing over your own. One of the first reasons you might still be single while everyone else is getting married is very simple and very hard to feel. Allah may be protecting you. You see the wedding photos. You see the sweet captions. But Allah sees everything behind the scenes. He sees the arguments you don't see. He sees the spiritual misalignment you can't sense at first. He sees the future of that marriage in 5, 10, 20 years. And you don't. Sometimes you look at someone and think, if only I could marry a person like that, my life would be perfect. But Allah knows that this exact person might damage your self-worth, distance you from your deen, or chain your heart to something toxic. So a proposal falls through. A person loses interest. A perfect match suddenly doesn't work out, and it hurts. You cry, you question, you feel rejected. But from Allah's side, it might not be rejection. It might be redirection. It might be your Lord saying, not this one. I know what you do not know. I am saving you from a future you cannot see. What feels like delay may actually be protection. Another powerful reason you might still be single is this. Allah is preparing you. Right now, you might think, if I just got married, everything would fall into place. But marriage doesn't magically fix what's broken inside. In fact, it often exposes it. So what if this season is Allah's way of saying, let me work on you first? Maybe He is giving you time to heal from old wounds, trauma, or heartbreak, so you don't carry that pain into your future home. Maybe He is helping you break bad habits, addictions, or patterns so you don't pass them on to your children. Maybe He is pulling you closer to Him through salah, Qur'an, dua, and sincere repentance so that your heart is anchored in Allah, not in any human being. Marriage is not just about finding someone who is good for you. It's also about becoming someone who is good for another believer's deen, heart, and future. So if you're in a season where Allah is exposing your flaws, correcting your path, and calling you higher, don't despise it. This may be the training ground for the spouse, the family, and the mission He plans to trust you with later. Now look at your friend group for a moment. One is married with kids. One is newly married and adjusting. One is struggling in her marriage, but doesn't talk about it publicly. And then there's you, single, wondering why your story looks so different. Here's a hard truth that can also set you free. You do not have their test, and they do not have yours. Allah did not copy-paste your life from anyone else's. He wrote a custom script for you. Some people are tested inside marriage. Some are tested through divorce. Some are tested with difficult children. And some are tested with waiting, longing, and loneliness before marriage. Just because your timeline is slower, later, or completely different does not mean you're behind. In Allah's sight, there is no late or early. There is only on time. Your friends may already be in the chapter called marriage. You might still be in the chapter called preparation and trust. Both are valid. Both are part of the journey to Allah. Your timeline is not a mistake. It's a design. One of the heaviest parts of being the only single one is not just the loneliness, it's the pressure. The aunties with the comments, the coworkers asking, "So, when are you getting married?" The silent comparison when you scroll and see, "She has a husband, a house, a baby. What do I have?" Slowly, without realizing, your heart can start measuring your worth by other people's timelines. But Allah might be using this exact season to purify that. He may be teaching you to say, "My value is not in a ring on my finger. My value is in how my Lord sees me." Because if you enter marriage obsessed with people's opinions, you'll live your whole married life performing for them, posting for them, buying for them, competing with them. Allah loves you too much to let your soul be owned by the crowd. So He slows you down. He keeps you in this classroom where you learn to seek His pleasure first, to stand with dignity even when others don't understand your path. There is another angle you might not have considered. Maybe Allah is positioning you, right now, as a pillar in your friend group. When your friends get married and start having children, their lives change. Their time, energy, and emotional space get pulled in many directions: spouse, kids, in-laws, work, responsibilities. Sometimes, in the middle of all that, their own hearts get tired, their iman dips, and they need someone stable, present, and spiritually awake. That someone might be you. You might be the friend who checks in, the one who reminds them to pray, the one who listens when their marriage is hard and keeps their secrets safe, the one who brings them back to tawakkul when they feel overwhelmed. Your extra time, your emotional availability, your closeness to Allah during this single season, none of that is wasted. It can make you a source of barakah for others. Being single doesn't mean you're the one left behind. It might mean you are strategically placed to serve, to support, and to reflect Allah's mercy in your circle. Now, there's something very important to understand. Trust in Allah does not mean doing nothing. Yes, your spouse is written. Yes, your risk is in Allah's hands. But tawakkul is not sitting still and waiting for a knock on the door. Tawakkul is tying your camel and then trusting Allah with the result. So what does that look like? It looks like making sincere dua for a righteous spouse in a blessed marriage. It looks like praying istikhara when a proposal appears. It looks like allowing trusted family or community members to help you look. It might mean using halal marriage platforms, attending community events, showing up where good people are. You don't chase in desperation, but you also don't hide and then blame fate. You move with dignity, modesty, and wisdom. Then you leave the outcome to Allah, knowing He never wastes your efforts. Let's be honest. Some nights, it's not theology you struggle with. It's the silence, the empty bed, the feeling that no one chose you. Yet, in that space, you have two choices: to drown in comparison or to build a life with Allah at the center. Use this season to deepen your connection with Him through consistent salah, Qur'an, and quiet, honest dua. Invest in friendships and communities so you're not isolating yourself. Serve others. Volunteer. Help your family. Support people who have less than you. Service softens loneliness. And don't neglect your mental and physical health. Therapy, exercise, hobbies, learning. Travel within halal limits. Your life does not start at marriage. It is happening now. Live it fully for Allah. If you feel like the last single one standing, hear this clearly. You are not rejected. You are not defective. You are not forgotten. You are being prepared. Prepared through protection from what you cannot see. Prepared through inner healing and growth. Prepared with a different timeline, a different test, and a different role in your circle. So whisper this with me. Allah has not left me behind. He is writing my story with wisdom. I will trust His timing and keep walking toward Him.